With the Royal Rumble coming out tomorrow, we got to go ahead and talk about all 30 entrants, who's going to be the first person, who's going to be the last person, who's going to win the dang thing. And I got my predictions. Y'all got y'all predictions. Go ahead and drop y'all's down below, and let's see who gets it right. And if y'all get it right, I'll go ahead and mail you a cookie. Now, before we do jump into this, I got to say a few things. One, if you haven't checked out my Women's Royal Rumble video, make sure you go check that thing out. Should be a little link somewhere over here. Two, as opposed to my women's video, if you have watched it, the men's video got a few entrants that I didn't personally think that were going to be in there. I didn't really know why they were in there because they didn't really fit their character, but because they are in there, there's not that much description on these guys and as to what I think they could really do in the Rumble, because I don't know why they're still in there to begin with. But let's go ahead and jump into number one, shall we, with John Cena. Now look, it was either going to be John Cena or it was going to be Roman Reigns. There was going to be no in between for who was going to be the first entry, and I felt like, who makes more sense to be the first entry? I cannot see Roman Reigns entering the Royal Rumble number one if he's going to be one of the final four guys to win it, which, spoilers, I do predict that Roman Reigns is going to be one of the final four guys. Now, whether he's going to win it or not, you got to see at the end of the video. So, because I do think John Cena fits this number one spot a lot more than Roman Reigns, and John Cena hasn't been in WWE like the past 3 weeks now, I think he's going to want to be there a lot for the fans, because, you know, John Cena is a big fan guy. He's not a big family guy, but I think he does like Family Guy in a sense. It's a pretty dang good show, although Boondocks is way better in my opinion.
That's an astute observation.
But I do believe that John Cena will be entering the Royal Rumble number one, and very similar to Becky Lynch, it's gonna be an extremely loud pop, and I cannot wait to hear it. Now, the next guy entering the Rumble, it's gonna be Logan Paul, okay? I know that there's all these rumors going around that we're going to get a Logan Paul versus John Cena match on John Cena's retirement tour. I don't want that to happen, though. But if we are going to get it, give me Logan Paul number two in the Rumble. He's a very super athletic guy. I think he would do wonders to go against someone like John Cena. Also, he's a really big over mega heel. I was about to say mega face. He is definitely not a face. I mean, he might be a face of what not to post on YouTube, but he's definitely not the face of WWE, nor is he a face. But it would be a really good just heel face kind of like match in the ring. Obviously, Logan Paul is probably going to be getting over a lot on John Cena, but John Cena does really well against guys who are like super athletic. Look back at AJ Styles. I think it's actually one of John Cena's best matches in my opinion. I know there's other great matches in there like Edge and CM Punk and all that stuff, but the AJ Styles match is just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not saying that Logan Paul is AJ Styles by any means, but I think that he's a very athletic guy in that realm of an AJ Styles that it'll do wonders for John Cena, as well as also doing wonders for Logan Paul as well. With that, though, we are on to number three, and we're sending in shoosh, please, shoosh, Mr. Chad Gable. And F it, man, we going Super Cena, man. Put two heels in there, have John Cena throwing their butts around and all that. But also, this is going to be really good for Chad Gable as well. And actually good for Cena, because we're not going to get Cena versus Kurt Angle most likely. So this is like the second closest thing to it is Cena versus Gable. Really dang good match that I hope we do actually get on this retirement tour. But if not, at least we'll get to see it in the Royal Rumble. Plus, you're going to have Chad Gable just being even more of a heel because he's going to get to work with Logan Paul. Everybody hates Logan Paul. It's only going to help Chad Gable even more. And if we are going to get Chad Gable back into that potential top position, whether it is an IC title or even a US title, which I believe he should get because the guy is a part of American Made. Why would you not want to put the title on him? But maybe he can get back into a potential World Heavyweight title picture. Well, not back into, because he never was in it, sadly, but get into a World Heavyweight title picture because he got so dang over at the Rumble. And him going against Cena, like I said, Cena and Kurt Angle is also a really dang good match. Chad Gable is going to be just as good for Cena because he's in that same vein as the Kurt Angle, so it's going to be able to show off a lot of John Cena's power and not only his ability to go against high flyers, and it's going to help Chad Gable as well. And I do predict at some point that Chad Gable will even be able to go against Logan Paul in that match. But maybe we want him to keep working with Logan Paul so we can make him a super duper over heel. Now at number 4, we got to go with that guy, you know, the ruler of NXT, one Oba Femi. Now, maybe it's a bit too early for Oba to be in the match, but he's an excellent tweener. I couldn't think of too many guys that really border that line of tweenerness, you know? But Obafemi kind of borders that line very well, also going up against the likes of Logan Paul, Chad Gable. He's going to be able to show off a lot against them, while also having a standoff with John Cena as well, kind of letting the crowd know that, hey, this is a guy you need to be watching and you need to get behind because he's one of our next big faces of this dang company. And I don't just mean like as in like a good guy, but like one of the guys that's going to be leading WWE into the future. And like I said, going against guys like Chad Gable, who we're also going to get to show off Chad Gable's power, which is perfect for him. Although I don't think a guy that goes by Master Gable should be doing a German suplex to Obafemi. I just don't personally like that. But I mean, you know what? He does it, then Obafemi does one right back, or does a power slam to him as well. And then he gets to go up against a guy like Logan Paul too, which if we really do want to push Obafemi to being a face, which I think he can actually be that and still be the same character that he is right now, because he's a tweener, but he kind of pushes more towards the face side than he does the heel side. I think this would be a perfect time to really start pushing him more towards that face side, because we do need another big super duper over mega baby face in WWE, and I think Obafemi would be a great one. At number 5, if you are a dog in here, then let me know and let Braun Breaker know as well at the Rumble, because he is appearing at number 5. Again, it might be too early for a guy like him. Maybe you want him to appear more towards the end, but I think Braun Breaker is going to eventually have a feud with Obafemi, and if we get to see that at the Rumble, you know, just a little snippet of it, oh my gosh, that's gonna be beautiful. And he gets to go up against a guy like Cena, who, spoilers, I do believe that John Cena is facing Braun Breaker at the Royal Rumble. Maybe he's even a guy that potentially eliminates John Cena if he doesn't win the Rumble, which kind of sets up the Braun Breaker John Cena IC title match at WrestleMania, where I do believe that Braun Breaker will win that match. I don't think John Cena needs to win the IC title anytime soon. I think he should potentially beat like a Sheamus for that title if Sheamus does get that belt. Heck, maybe even Sheamus is in the match with John Cena as well. You have both guys that could potentially get theirs, and Braun Breaker just like, yeah, nah, both of y'all old folk can go ahead and retire, because I'm here now. This is my company. And I think Braun Breaker being here would also be, he's another guy who's a tweener as well, so he could go against somebody like a Chad Gable, like a Logan Paul, and be able to get more of a face role, which another guy who I believe should actually be a face and not a heel, because I don't think he plays the heel that well, in my opinion. If you go look at NXT Braun Breaker, he played the face way better. Like, he's really dang good as a face, because he has a face personality, even though he looks like a guy that would be really ignorant and annoying to ever be around. He's actually a pretty dang cool guy from what I've heard from a lot of people. So I think he should play the face instead of the heel, and he should come in at number 5. Now at number 6, we talking about some heels and a guy who play a heel pretty dang well, although he also plays a pretty good face as well. So yeah, one, Carmelo Hayes. I believe this is a perfect time to have him in there. He's an amazing seller. He's going to do well for selling for guys like Braun Breaker, Obafemi, John Cena. Plus you're having him and you're having Logan Paul in there, two very athletic high flyers. It's going to only create magic in the ring, even though I don't like Logan Paul as a person. I got to admit, the dude is a pretty dang good wrestler. You're going to get him against Chad Gable as well, and you're going to have 3 guys who are heels and 3 guys who are faces. I mean, 2 of them technically aren't faces, but you know what I mean. And like I said, he's going to be an absolutely amazing seller, and I think with the way that he sells so dang well, like a Dolph Ziggler, like an Austin Theory, this might actually do a lot more good for him than it does bad by taking so many big shots in the Rumble that people are going to start getting behind him more and be like, wait, this guy's actually really dang good in the ring. I need to be rooting for him more, because I want to see more from him, and I want to see more from Melo. I want to see Melo eventually get to them U.S. title positions. I want to see him eventually get to a WWE championship position. I would love to see Melo in the bank one day. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. I think he should win it in 2026, not this year, because it's just too early for him. It's just too early for him. I think being there early with a lot of the top guys and a lot of the future guys is going to help establish him as also one of those potential future guys, and it's just going to get him a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot more like eyes on him, which is going to do wonders for Melo. Now at number 7, I hate to do this to this guy because he's going to have to basically come in as a jobber, someone that just gets eliminated by one of the top guys. It's Dragon Lee. I thought Dragon Lee was going to be a guy that potentially coming in this year, he could be a more of a mainstay in the Rumble and not somebody that gets, like, you know, eliminated within 3, 4, 5 minutes. But I think that does happen to Dragon Lee. Although he does get to show off a little bit in the ring, I think, against guys like Logan Paul, Obafemi, Braun Breaker, Melo, John Cena. But he's likely going to be a guy that you just put in there to get eliminated. Again, I hate for it to happen to him, but at least he gets to be in the Rumble, so eventually we can push him down the line because I do believe he deserves a push. Absolutely phenomenal in the ring, and if you ain't heard that man theme song, it's one of the best theme songs in WWE in my opinion, and I really wish they would push this guy more because I got it on Spotify and I be bumping it every day, and I'm trying to bump it every day. I mean, I'm trying to hear it bumped every day in WWE, so push the guy more, Triple H. I want to see more Dragon Lee on my dang screen. Now, at number 8, a guy that I definitely want to see on the screen, even though others don't want to see on the screen, is one Kofi Kingston. I feel like you guys are giving him a lot of, you know, harshness. You know, you have to be really mean to him because, yes, you know, he did be mean to Big E, but, I mean, was he wrong? Was he wrong? Like, you know, Big E, yeah, you did break your neck, but, I mean, you couldn't be around the ring afterwards, but you can be in all the little PLE pre-shows and all that, but you can't be ringside with them, cheering them on. I mean, is he wrong? And it really, like, you know, the Big E injury really did lead to the downfall of the New Day. So, in my opinion, he ain't wrong at all. Kofi's 100% right, and I think he should be doing wonders in this Royal Rumble. I would even love to see Kofi Kingston win the Rumble so we can get Kofi Mania Part 2. Sadly, though, you know, it's just not going to happen because right now, WWE wants my guy Kofi to lose so bad, and I really don't like that. But you know they're going to have him lose. You know they're going to have him go in there, be against guys like Braun Breaker and Obafemi and John Cena and just all these super duper over mega big guys. And it's just not right for Kofi, man, but you know, he's got to be there. He's got to be there, and this is probably going to be like a jobber role as well. Someone like Dragon Lee that's just going to get thrown out the ring, even though, you know, man, I'm here for Kofi Mania Part 2, man. Let's go ahead and book it this year. With that, though, on to number 9, a guy that I'm super confused on is even in the Royal Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura. I feel like this does not fit his character at all, which is why when I was looking up the Royal Rumble entries that have already been confirmed, because I wanted to make sure that if someone had been confirmed, I at least got him in this video, I was confused on because I was like, when did he confirm it? And then I went back and I was like, oh, he just confirmed it the past Friday. And I was like, wait, why did he confirm it? Why is he in the Rumble? It makes 0 sense for him to be in the Rumble. I don't really know much to do with him in this Rumble. I mean, because Carmelo Hayes probably isn't going to get back into that U.S. title picture anytime soon. But, I mean, if he is in there with a guy like Melo, if Melo is still in there, that does help Shinsuke. And I guess we could put him against some of the other guys. I don't know. I don't like him being in the Rumble. It just feels really odd to me. I feel like he should be kind of just focusing on the U.S. title picture because he didn't really. I mean, he did come back for a belt, so I guess you could say maybe he wants to get more gold, but I don't know. It just feels weird for Shinsuke to be in this Rumble, in my opinion. There are some guys in there, though, you know, he could show off against, like Braun Breaker, John Cena. Maybe he could show off against Oba as well, him a little Kinshasa or something like that. Maybe he's even the guy to eliminate Oba. But I think Oba might be around for like a good 20 to 30 minutes just to really show off his power. And he probably gets eliminated by either A, a much bigger star, or B, 2 to 3 guys or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know what Shinsuke doing in this Rumble, but I'm going to put him in early so at least, you know, we can get some more eyes on him, get some more eyes on the U.S. belt as well. And hopefully he does like a little something, and he at least is in there for like a good 10 to 15 minutes. So, you know, we give some respect to that dang belt and him as well. Now, at number 10, we are going with my guy, L.A. Knight. Yeah. And he needs to show out in this dang Rumble. I don't want to see him get eliminated quicker in this Rumble than he lost his dang belt to Shinsuke Nakamura. And with him being, you know, right after Shinsuke Nakamura, that's also going to be a little bit of a mind game to him because Shinsuke was playing mind games. That's how he won the belt. Now, LA Knight plays some mind games and he gets that belt back. I believe that feud should still be an ongoing feud and it should not have been ended. I don't want to see LA Knight going against Jacob Fatu. I don't think that feud even needs to happen. It doesn't really make any sense. I don't think they're going to have great chemistry in the ring. I would rather see LA Knight going back at Shinsuke Nakamura, getting that dang belt back because we ain't really done much with Shinsuke Nakamura. We ain't done much of this U.S. championship run. Give it back to LA Knight. Let him just go out there and be a heel, which I think he needs to be a heel. And I think he needs to also have maybe some kind of like U.S. Open as well and just start challenging people and saying like, hey, I'm the best on the roster. None of y'all can challenge me, but if y'all want to step up, go ahead and step up. Yeah. I just want to see more from LA Knight, man. I got a video coming about LA Knight and the fall of LA Knight, the fumble of LA Knight by WWE. This is one of the things I spoke on that I hope the Rumble does actually help him out. I hope he's a guy that gets in there and gets maybe like 4 or 5 big eliminations, or at least 4 or 5 eliminations with like one big elimination. Like maybe he's one of the guys that potentially takes out Obafemi or Braun Breaker, even though I think one of the two is probably going to be in that Final Four, possibly because they're both faces that they could do that, but I would love to see LA Knight eliminate one of those two guys. So maybe we even push like an LA Knight Braun Breaker feud, and maybe he gets into some IC title pictures. Monday night, oh, that sounds kind of hard. Monday night LA, Friday night, we could have done it with Friday night LA. The fumbling of LA Knight. But yeah, I want to see him just do wonderful on the Rumble, man, because super duper cool guy. He deserves it, man, after everything he's been through in freaking WWE, man. Now at number 11, we are having Ego. My guy gonna get his smile back too. We are having Ethan Page be in this dang Rumble. He needs to be in the Rumble. And if you have LA Knight get that title back, and let's say he stays a face for whatever dang reason, we could have one of his next competitors be Ethan Page. And with how good Ethan Page is on the mic and how good LA Knight is on the mic, I need that dang feud. We could even have Ethan Page potentially go against Shinsuke Nakamura if you don't have LA Knight win the title back. Then you can have LA Knight go against Ethan Page. So either way, I need to see it happen because I need to see Ethan Page eventually get into that mid-card title scene and going against the likes of a Shinsuke Nakamura. But he's also in there with the likes of a Braun Breaker and Obafemi, John Cena. That's going to be absolutely amazing to see that, even though we won't really be able to see all of it. We're only going to see half of it because we won't see Cena because, you can't see him and all that. We even get to see him in there with just other guys, like if Chad Gable's still there, if Logan Paul's still there. Maybe he's one of the guys that eliminates Kofi Kingston and, he just does a little smile like this and the whole crowd gets behind him. Maybe that pushes Ethan Page as a dang face. I don't know. I think whoever eliminates Kofi Kingston got to be a face because if they're not, they're going to become a face instantly because nobody likes Kofi right now, which is sad too because, again, my guy's not wrong, man. My guy is not wrong. Y'all just not right is what it really is. But I want to see Ethan Page in the Rumble as well because he's another guy who I feel like has fallen off a bit. This Javon Evans story is just whatever to me. I don't really care about it. I want to see him on the main roster already. I felt like after he lost the NXT title and lost the Iron Survivor Series and we started doing the Iron Survivor Series? Iron Survivor Challenge. After we seen all that, him lose, and apparently he lost his smile and all that stuff, didn't really do much on him afterwards. Yeah, he became like this devil-like character that he's kind of playing, like a CM Punk-esque character. I don't care for it, man. I want to see him on the main roster. I want to see him doing great things on the main roster, being in that mid-card scene. I thought he was going to be on the main roster a lot sooner and was going to go against LA Knight. I thought he was going to be the guy that dethroned LA Knight or maybe even win against Mello. But instead we kept him on NXT, which I don't think he needs to be there anymore. He's fine to go up to the main roster and be a mid-card star. I don't know what WWE is really doing with him, so I hope he's in this Rumble and I hope he does, at least does enough. Like 1 elimination, 2 eliminations in there for like a good 7-8 minutes. Maybe no elimination, but he's in there for like a good 7 to 10 minutes. I think that'd be perfectly fine for one Ethan Page. Now at number 12, we have Sami Zayn. And this is a weird one for me because I feel like Sami Zayn is going to be doing a lot throughout the night other than just the Rumble stuff. I think he's going to be going out there for the Cody Rhodes KO match, and maybe he'll like stand at the ramp or something like that and kind of just stare at them and like distract Cody. I don't think Cody loses the belt, although it is very possible that he could lose the belt. If he does lose the belt, I think it's going to be because of Sami Zayn. So if that does happen, there's some pretty big faces in there like Knight and like Cena who are really cool with Cody that are going to be potentially going at Sami Zayn or questioning, what the heck are you doing? Why are you working with that side now? Cody's a good guy. Cody, Cody's right and KO's wrong. But if you don't have that happen, you do have some heels in there for Sami Zayn to go against. You also have Braun Breaker as well. We can call back to that whole thing. Maybe even have Braun Breaker spear the heck out of Sami Zayn, kind of just leave his lifeless body there. He's like, I'm not going to eliminate you. I'm just going to leave you right there on the ground. And then maybe Sami Zayn eliminates Braun Breaker later on and it's like, you should have eliminated me. Yeah, it kind of is dependent on what the heck Sami Zayn does with the Cody KO match. If he's a face, I think he has some heels in there to go against. If he's a heel, he got some faces in there to go against. I don't know, but he is going to be in the Rumble. And he's another guy that I'm kind of confused on being in the Rumble because, yes, it makes sense in a sense for him to be in the Rumble because, it's Sami Zayn, he's the underdog and all that stuff. But with everything going on right now, I feel like he wouldn't want to be in the Rumble because there's just, his mind is just all over the place, especially after what happened with Cody Rhodes, too, after he Haluva kicked him. I forgot the name of the dang move for a second. So number 12 will be Sami Zayn. Now, speaking of number 13, this guy is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins, and he's going to be in this dang Rumble. And depending on what happens with the Sami Zayn thing, again, a lot of it depends on Sami Zayn. Depending on what happens, we could get Seth and Sami going at each other because Seth is still cool with Cody. I think. I don't really know, to be honest, actually, after helping Roman out. I'm a bit confused on that whole little friendship, but, you know, if he is still cool with Cody, if Sami Zayn got involved in that match and cost Cody his belt, I think that this could lead to some stuff in the ring between these two, but I also think it might lead to what I believe is going to happen is Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn creating the Headhunters. I've heard a lot of people going around saying that's going to be Seth, Drew, and KO. Going to be like the Crash Out Trio. I think Sami Zayn gets added to that. Very similar to like how if you watch AEW, the Death Riders have Wheeler Yuta. I think Sami Zayn is going to play that Wheeler Yuta role, the guy who gets manipulated into the group. And I think the start of it is going to be Kevin Owens manipulating Sami Zayn into helping him win the belt, and then he accidentally does help him win the belt, and maybe even Seth Rollins kind of accepts him in the ring. Maybe he doesn't go at him. Maybe he's not cool with Cody anymore. Or, you know, if Sami's a face and Seth's in there, now you have the potential of Sami Zayn eliminating Seth Rollins, and that causes Seth Rollins to go off the deep end, or Seth Rollins eliminates Sami Zayn, one of the two. But Seth Rollins is obviously going to be in this Rumble. He's going to be a guy that probably lasts until like the like late he'll probably be there for like the 30s, and then he won't be on the top 4. I don't see that happening. I see him getting eliminated by Sami Zayn probably within like the top 5, top 6, top 7, top 8, somewhere around there. I think it'll be like a good spot to have Seth Rollins in. Sami Zayn should probably also make that top 8 as well. And like I said, he'll be the guy to eliminate one Seth Rollins. Oh yeah, and we get to see Seth Rollins and John Cena in the ring again. We ain't seen that in a while, and you know how that went last time, and it was an absolutely phenomenal match. So we get to see some of that. Get to see Seth Rollins get some of the new guys as well. Just more of these legend-esque wrestlers being able to put over guys like Braun Breaker, Obafemi, as well as a Mello too. It's going to be really good for a lot of them to also get that experience against some of these top guys. And Ethan Page as well. I got to throw him in there too. He is a bit of an older one, but Mello's 30. Ethan Page is like 34, 35. So he still has probably about like a good 10 years in WWE. Getting some experience going against Seth Rollins is going to be really great for him. Now at number 5, we got my dog. We got my guy, Mr. Chicken Tendies, Dominic Mysterio. And he's going to play the jobber role, but it's perfect for him. I think he gets eliminated quick by Cena, which leads to Dominic Mysterio plotting on Cena. I have been saying for about a good year now that Dominic Mysterio needs to win Money in the Bank 2025. Or not a good year. Ever since the John Cena retirement tour got announced, I've been saying that Dominic Mysterio needs to win Money in the Bank in 2025 and cash in on a John Cena match where he is trying to get the World Heavyweight title, and this will be a perfect reasoning for stopping Cena from getting number 17 is a quick elimination from Cena. Now, I do believe Cena will get 17 by beating Dominic Mysterio, but it'll be possibly pretty similar to Edge and Cena, where, you know, Dom and Cena have like a quick little 2-month feud, and then Cena eventually gets that belt from Dom. But Dominic Mysterio is going to be in this dang Rumble. He's going to get eliminated quickly. It's going to set up a big 2025 for my guy Dom to eventually get that dang World Heavyweight Championship that he absolutely deserves, especially after all his dang work that he did putting the likes of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan over. Now at number 15, we have Cero Miedo. We are having Penta in this Rumble. He's obviously going to be in the Rumble because he's already announced being in the Rumble. And I think this would actually be a good spot for him because think about it like this. We are potentially getting a Dominic Mysterio and somebody versus Penta and possibly Rey match at WrestleMania. So we can start that now because if Dom gets eliminated before Penta gets in, Dom could try heckling Penta. Penta hits him with a Penta driver or maybe just, you know, some lesser move. And then that sets up that WrestleMania match because maybe it's Dominic Mysterio and Chad Gable versus Rey and Penta. Obviously, we know Penta has beef. Gable has beef with Penta right now. And maybe the guy that Gable got sent to by Dom wasn't able to help Gable. Here comes Dom to help Gable because he's like, you know what? I'm tired of this guy. This guy made a fool of me at Royal Rumble, and I want to get back at him. And that sets up the tag team match over at WrestleMania. But also, this is just really good for Penta as well because like a little spot right here where there's not there's still some big entries, but it's the middle of the Rumble. So, you know, you're going to start having some guys in there that he could potentially eliminate, like a Kofi Kingston if he's still there, or a Dragon Lee if he's still there. And if Dragon Lee is still there and we get Dragon Lee versus Penta in the dang ring, that's going to be absolutely beautiful. And we get Penta, get some other top guys as well, potentially Obafemi, potentially a Braun Breaker, potentially a John Cena, etc., etc. Now at number 16, where the heck did the lights go? Now who the heck done turn up? Uncle Howdy, you supposed to do this at the dang Rumble, not at my house. There we go, got the dang lights back on. Yes, number 16 is Uncle Howdy, and I want to see during that dang Rumble, the lights shut off. Here is Uncle Howdy in the middle of the dang ring, staring at either LA Knight or John Cena. More than likely, though, LA Knight, because he went at Bray Wyatt. We never got to really see the conclusion of that feud because, you know, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. John Cena, we did see the conclusion of that feud, so maybe Uncle Howdy wouldn't go at him, although that is a possibility. But I want to see Uncle Howdy going at LA Knight, in my opinion. I think it's going to help the Wyatt Six as well because this is a really big PLE. They ain't been on a dang PLE since, you know, their appearance. So this is going to only do wonders for them. We need to see more of them as well. Maybe the rest of them will be in the crowd and be like, I got tickets! Man, he should have been a real tribal chief, man. I cannot believe Roman Reigns got that dang Ulafala back. But, no, we need to see Uncle Howdy in this Rumble for sure, though. Whether the Wyatt Six are all there or not, I need to see him because I need to see at least somebody from that dang group because we ain't seen them in a few, weeks now? They barely even be there to begin with, man. We need to... And we also need to, you know, not fumble them as well because we are kind of getting on the... Are we fumbling them? And it's just, it's not good, man. We cannot, this is a story like that I just feel, and really a group as well, that we cannot fumble because of the ties to Bray Wyatt. Like, we're continuing that whole storyline, and we need to handle it with the utmost care. Other guys, like an LA Knight, like a Jey Uso, etc., you can fumble those guys, and yeah, it does suck. You know, at the end of the day, they're human beings. But this one, though, this storyline, we cannot fumble, and I feel like putting Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy in this dang Rumble is going to help that group just a lot more. Now, at number 17, we are going to have I Believe in Joe Hendry. We need to have him in this dang Rumble, man. You know he's going to be there. It's almost a given that he's going to be in the Rumble. I know he's the TNA champion right now, but we've seen Jordan Grace be in the Rumble last year. This is only going to do wonders for Joe Hendry. It's going to get him back into that superstardom that he kind of started losing because, obviously, I'm not going to say any names, but a certain company who has 3 letters that is, you know, trash, kind of fumbled the bag with him. But I think this Rumble might be able to help him out. It's also going to help that trash ass company out, and we get to see, you know, Believe with Bo Dallas versus Believe with Joe Hendry, and like I said, we also get to see Joe Hendry versus John Cena as well. He wants the match. I don't think it's gonna happen. It could happen though, and hey, maybe John Cena will appear at some dang TNA pay-per-view this year. That'd be pretty cool to see. He gets to help out that company that until they release Tessa Blanchard, I just don't care for at all. But once they do release her, I'm back on the TNA wave. So yeah, Joe Hendry in the Rumble, gonna do absolutely wonders for him. It's gonna make his superstardom just that much bigger. And when he does finally get ready to come to WWE, it's gonna be, you know, we'll be able to call back to this. So it'll help him out a lot. Now at number 18, this is a guy that everybody's predicting to be in the Rumble, even though he hasn't been wrestling in who knows how dang long. It's X-Pac. I am not the most familiar with X-Pac because I got into WWE a bit later. I started watching around 2010, 2011-ish. So I don't know much about X-Pac other than what I've seen, like the little bit of stuff I've seen here and there. I know he's a big WWE legend. A lot of people love him. I think he's going to do wonders. It's going to be a super insanely loud pop. I understand that a legend is taking the spot from a rookie. I've had that comment on my past video with the whole Trish Stratus Lita thing. I know some people may not like him being here because he does take that spot, not even just from rookies, but like active wrestlers. Like somebody I actually did have here and then erased was Andrade. I would love to see Andrade in the Rumble. I think he could still be in the Rumble. But I think if they're looking at it and being like Andrade or X-Pac, they're probably going to go with X-Pac. So he's going to be in the dang Rumble. Ain't probably going to get any eliminations, but at least he'll be there to be, you know, just one of the legends, one of the guys. Now, at number 19, we're going to go with another pretty odd name, and it's going to be one Ludwig Kaiser. I think he should be in this dang Rumble. It's going to do a lot for the whole storyline between him and Gunther. A lot of people think they are going to break up, and I think this could be the potential start of their breakup. Gunther's going to be like, why are you in the Rumble? Were you going to come after my belt because I am one of the 2 top champions? And obviously Ludwig's going to be like, no, totally not. But, you know, in reality, Ludwig possibly was going to go for that dang World Heavyweight title if he did win it. And this will do wonders for Ludwig as well, because if Braun Breaker's still there, you know, potential IC championship could be in Ludwig's future. Maybe he probably get eliminated by Braun Breaker, but at least he'll be able to go against some of the other guys that have the mid-card titles, be able to go against some of the guys that are going to be in line to get mid-card titles, and just get a lot more eyes on him as well. And Ludwig is somebody that I think deserves a lot in WWE. He's really, really dang good, man. I think he could be an absolutely fantastic mid-card guy. I don't think he'll ever get like a WWE World Heavyweight Champion or like a WWE Undisputed Championship, but IC title, US title, I can see him getting about 2 to 3 of those each. He's really, really dang good, especially on a mic, man. Ludwig is so underrated, and he's so underrated in the ring as well, and there's a lot of guys in there that I think he could show out against. So I want to see Ludwig in this dang Rumble. Now at number 19, we are going with I Love You Solo. We are having Jacob Fatu be in this dang Rumble. I know he hasn't announced to be in the Rumble, but there's no dang way that WWE is keeping Jacob Fatu out of the Rumble. It's going to do absolute wonders for him. It's going to only elevate him more because, you know, he needs this right now. He needs to be on the path to success. The Braun Strowman stuff was cool, but seeing him in there against guys like Braun Breaker, who we've already seen that standoff, guys like Obafemi, I can't wait to see that dang standoff, guys like a John Cena, a potential Seth Rollins, etc., which we did see Seth Rollins and Jacob Fatu, you know, kind of having a little face-off. Well, more so Jacob Fatu wanted to smack the dog shit out of Seth Rollins, but he didn't get to because of Solo Sikoa. So I would love to just see that. I think this is a good spot for him as well. It's not too early in the Rumble, not too late in the Rumble. I think it's a good time for him. He might even potentially be one of those top 4 guys. I don't think so, though. I think maybe like a top 8 to 6 guys, somewhere around there is probably good for Jacob Fatu. You don't want to overly push him. You don't want to do that. We've seen that happen too many times, and it actually hurts a lot more careers than it helps careers. And especially if he does get eliminated by someone like Roman Reigns. Maybe that pushes a Roman Jacob Fatu WrestleMania match this year. You know, we are suspecting that match to happen at some point. We don't really know when it's going to happen. And if Roman doesn't win the Rumble, I think he's going to need some kind of opponent going into WrestleMania because there's probably no other way for him to get to Cody Rhodes if he doesn't win the Rumble. I mean, Elimination Chamber is there, but I don't see that happening. I think if John Cena doesn't win the Rumble, he's winning Elimination Chamber. And so, yeah, I think this is like the next best route for Roman Reigns to go. If he doesn't lose it, is potentially eliminates Jacob Fatu. Then they have their match at Mania, because maybe even Jacob Fatu, you know, helps eliminate Roman Reigns. I mean, he stays out there, he comes back out, and he helps get Roman Reigns eliminated. Now at number 21, we are going to have the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton. You're telling me we're going to get a Randy Cena standoff in 2025? I need it. You're telling me we're going to get Randy and Jacob Fatu standing off against each other? I need it. You tell me we might even get Randy and Braun Breaker or Randy and Obafemi? I need both of them, and maybe even Randy versus Penta as well. Those would all be beautiful matches to see. I need to see Randy Orton in this. Like I said, I don't need to see him appear in the whole Cody KO stuff. Just stay out of that. If you were gonna do Randy versus Cody at Mania, if that is like the actual one that we're doing, push that a little bit later. Don't have Cody win it, then Randy comes out and RKOs him. I think that's just that's whatever to me. Maybe have like Randy just RKO him on like Friday Night SmackDown or something like that when Cody's addressing KO or addressing the crowd in general. I'd rather see that. And like I said, we need to see Randy and Cena just have like a little stare down between each other, because we're probably not going to get them at Mania this year, although I would love to get it. But it's most likely not going to happen unless Randy wins the belt from Cody before does happen, before Mania does happen, which I don't see that happening either. Like, if we're just gonna take the belt off of Cody just to have a Randy Cena match, I don't really want that. I know some people wouldn't really care if they got that. Some people would even love it they got that because they're not either a Cody Rhodes fan or they're that big of a Randy Cena fan. I understand that. So it's not the worst decision if they went that way. I just personally don't want to see it if it happens, but I do want to see Randy and the dang Rumble getting some big eliminations and just looking like an absolute unit once again. Now at number 22, we are going to be going with some Booyaka Booyaka 619. we're going to be having Rey Mysterio here. I'm surprised he's in the Rumble, but I think a later spot is probably better for Rey Mysterio. There's history there with Cena. There's history there with Randy. He also has history with Penta as well, so we get like maybe a little match between them in the Rumble. Maybe they do a little tag teaming against somebody else. This is another guy that I just didn't really care to be in the Rumble, though. I just feel like he's somebody that could have gave it to somebody else, like an Andrade. I really want to see Andrade in this dang Rumble, but because I know X-Pac's going to be there and now Ray's going to be there, I think they probably take Andrade's spot. It sucks because of how good Andrade is, and he's still somebody that has so much time left in his career that I feel like could be one of the big luchadors in WWE. They're not doing that with him, though, and I don't know when the heck they're going to do that with him. Rey Mysterio, though, he's going to be here. He's going to do a little something and probably get eliminated within like 8, 9, 10 minutes. I don't think he's going to be in the Rumble that dang long. With that, though, we're on to number 23, and I think this is where Drew McIntyre enters. I have seen a lot of talks of Drew McIntyre potentially entering early in the Rumble along with Seth Rollins, maybe even being 1 and 2, so we can continue to push that whole storyline of Drew McIntyre eventually getting Seth Rollins on his side, the whole Crash Out Trio, Headhunters, whatever you want to call them. I could see that happening. I just think it's a bit better if it happens later on in the match, especially if you still have Seth Rollins there. You still have even Sami Zayn there. Maybe they all kind of work together at some point, or maybe Sami tries to eliminate Seth Rollins and Drew stops him, and Drew kind of is like, look it, someone you thought was a friend was just trying to eliminate you, but someone you hate, just helped you out. Maybe they just try to push that convincing a lot more, and I think if you are going to have that happen, that should happen a bit later in the Rumble, not so early, so that's why they probably shouldn't start it, because if they did start it, they're going to be going at each other, which doesn't really make sense. And you're not going to have these guys team up against each other and just have, what are we going to do? Wait for the next 5 minutes for somebody to enter the dang Rumble? I don't want to see Drew and Seth just standing there for like 5 whole minutes. I'm perfectly fine. So have it happen during the later parts of the Rumble. It'd be really good as well, because Drew McIntyre is going to get a pretty big pop. And that would also get a pretty big pop as well, seeing Drew McIntyre potentially save save Seth Rollins and knock out Sami Zayn, or they both take out Sami Zayn. So yeah, I want to see Drew McIntyre entering in a little later in the Rumble. Now at number 24, we're going to have Trick Williams enter in this Rumble. He's got to be there as well, man. I feel like having Trick Williams not be in this Rumble would just be horrible for business. He's a guy that a lot of people kind of going back and forth on now, and if he really is a future face of the company. I think Trick Williams still is a face of the company. I think he's having his Roman Reigns arc right now. And if you remember, Roman Reigns was not that good in NXT, and he definitely started off a bit shaky. I think Trick Williams could follow that Roman Reigns path where, he plays the face, he tries to do the good things, and maybe just along the way he eventually becomes a heel, and maybe he gets a Paul Heyman by him, or just some manager by him to really pick him up and, help him become greatness in a sense and become a Roman Reigns level. I think he has a lot of that in him, and I want to see him enter in a little later as well, because I feel like he needs to be in this later spot where there's still going to be a lot of those top guys, but there's also still some eliminations that happen. You don't want to have him be too early, because then it has the potential of him being one of the eliminations. A little later, though, and there's also a lot of heels. I think potentially Braun Breaker and Oba will still be here. John Cena will be there. Maybe they go like a little 2-on-2 with somebody else. Gonna only help Trick Williams out. Very similar to how it would help out an Oba Femi or a Braun Breaker to be going against John. To be working with John is gonna help him out and show that he is our next big super duper over mega babyface. But if we are bringing Trick, then at number 25 we gotta bring Wesley as well. He is done on the NXT roster. He does not need to be there anymore. He has the experience. Wesley is super dang good, and I think not only will this be able to help him boost his rivalry with Trick Williams, it's also going to be able to help him get back a lot of that, crowd love, because the crowd absolutely loved Wesley at one point. He was the golden boy that everybody thought was going to be the next super duper star. It just didn't happen after the injury. Obviously, Obafemi, kind of took that spot, but I still think Wesley has a lot of potential. I think he's a guy that you could really use in that mid-card scene that you could eventually put a World Heavyweight title on. I think the mistake you made with Finn Balor, you can correct that with Wesley, because Wesley is very similar to a Finn Balor in a sense. Really dang good wrestler. Obviously, Finn Balor is not as much of a high flyer as Wesley is, although I guess younger Finn Balor, like Prince Devitt, definitely had a lot of high flying in him. Older Finn Balor, around his mid, late 30s, early 40s, definitely wasn't that type, but Wesley's kind of almost following that Finn Balor route, and maybe this is the start of something for Wesley to potentially get onto the main roster if he does get a lot of the crowd behind him. Heck, I think he's a guy that, unless you want to just continue the Wesley Trick Williams feud, you could bring up to the main roster, although he isn't a faction right now, so maybe you got to bring them up as well. But hey, bring them up too. Bring them up to allow Wesley to do some great things on the main roster. I'd love to see him go to SmackDown, potentially get that belt from Shinsuke Nakamura. I just think that there's so much potential with Wesley, and you don't want to fumble this. Getting him on the main roster as soon as possible is going to help him out so dang much. Now at number 26, we're going to be bringing in the good brother Xavier Woods, man. Another guy that has been wronged by WWE, been wronged by the WWE fan base, and been wronged by his family too. I cannot believe that they wore those New Day suck shirts, man. New Day does not suck. That is one of the greatest groups of all time, and everybody needs to respect it. And I think Xavier Woods should come out and play the little heel role where he's just like, I'm not going to go in the ring. I'm just going to wait for you guys, to keep eliminating each other. I think Kofi Kingston should also come out once come out with Xavier, and then once Xavier does finally go into the ring, because someone's probably going to chase him into the dang ring, Kofi should try to do everything he can to keep Xavier from getting eliminated. He'll probably be eliminated within 3 to 5 minutes, because you want to just keep embarrassing them and try to make them over as much more of a heel as you possibly can, so then they'll have all these conspiracy theories about WWE just against them and all that. I think it'll do pretty decently for them. I don't know. I at this point, I'm kind of just, I don't know what they're doing with Xavier and Kofi. I'm going to be real with y'all. I had the whole video that blew up on TikTok that kind of did some numbers on here as well, that I thought the route they were going with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston was eventually to have, one of the two go against Karrion Kross, or have them even go against each other at some point, or have them go against Big E at WrestleMania. I don't know if any of those are going to happen now. I don't know what's going on with these guys, man, but I really want to see more respect onto the New Day's name, because this is a Hall of Fame group. I think they need to be back in those dang title pictures as well, and they probably should get the dang tag team belts from the War Raiders, but let's at least, do something with them in this dang Rumble that's going to help them and not hurt them. And I think this will at least help them be a bit more of heels. Now, at number 27, I have CM Punk entering here. I don't know if this is the favor that he got from Paul to enter at this spot because it has the most wins. I don't know if, that favor is still a WrestleMania main event. What the heck it is. I just think CM Punk is going to be entering in late because he's a guy that potentially should enter late. I don't think he needs to enter any time in the beginning or the middle. It just wouldn't really make a lot of sense for CM Punk to do that, especially with a lot of the matches he's been through over these past few months, and with him being a lot older guy, you don't want to put too much wear and tear on his body by having him be at the beginning or the middle. If he was in a John Cena position, then I would see him entering at the beginning, because obviously John Cena is someone who's, I think, as old, if not older than Punk. But, you don't want to put too much wear and tear on this guy's body, because you do want to have the Mania main event still be able to happen if he is the guy to win the Royal Rumble and go on to face one Cody Rhodes. We don't want to have what happened last year where this guy gets injured and now he can't face, his WrestleMania opponent, and we got to pivot and all that stuff. Even though WWE says they didn't pivot, I still kind of believe in the back of my mind that they did pivot because they really wanted CM Punk to go against Seth Rollins, because the path for Cody Rhodes was going to be so simple to get back to Roman Reigns. CM Punk wasn't going to be as easy to get to Seth Rollins. Now at number 28, I have a name written here, but I'm going to pivot because WWE does not push Santos Escobar, and I want to see them either push Santos or push Andrade, so I'm going to pivot, and since I had two guys take Andrade's spot, I'm going to have Andrade take Santos Escobar's spot, although I would love to see Santos in this dang Rumble. We're going to put Andrade here. I think he needs to be in this dang Rumble. He needs to get more of a pushing. He needs to be a guy that is used religiously in that mid-card scene, and maybe even in the top spot as well, because he can give you amazing matches, and we need to get more eyes onto him so more people get behind him, so more people want to see him in these dang matches. So I, Ash, get to see some dang Andrade because he's an absolutely fantastic wrestler, and you're going to have a lot of big name guys that are around this spot that are only going to help Andrade a lot more. It's going to get more eyes on him because you're going to have the likes of CM Punk, potentially Randy Orton, John Cena, maybe even Braun Breaker and Obafemi are still here, though I think one of the two is probably out by now. But either way, you're going to have one of those two guys in there as well. And you're going to have Rey Mysterio there, maybe even Penta there. And if I get to see Andrade versus Penta right now, at least, I want to see the match in the future, but if I get to see it right now, absolutely amazing. Andrade, though, needs to be in this dang Rumble. Now, at number 29, I know this guy's going to be in the Rumble. I don't want him to be in the Rumble. I show speed. I think he's going to end up RKOing probably Xavier Woods, if Xavier Woods is still in the dang Rumble, or he's going to get RKO'd by Randy Orton once again and thrown out of the dang ring. But I'm almost 100% positive he will be in that dang Rumble. He's probably going to come out with Kai Cenat and all them and KSI. Maybe come back out with Logan Paul if Logan Paul already got eliminated. He's going to be in the Rumble, though. Triple H basically already told us that by having that whole little video get posted. So for all the iShowSpeed fans, here you go. You get to see your guy. Now, at number 30, I said it already in the beginning. It was either going to be Roman Reigns or John Cena at the end, and it makes 1,000% sense to have Roman Reigns enter at the end. He's somebody that just gives off Final Boss energy, Final Boss music. I know he ain't the Final Boss. He's the Tribal Chief. The Final Boss is The Rock, but in my opinion, the Final Boss is also the Tribal Chief in Roman Reigns. And I think he should be in this dang Rumble at the end of it. Nowhere near the middle. Nowhere near like the 20s or anything like that. Number 30 is perfect for Roman Reigns. We're still pushing him as that guy. And he's kind of in a similar position as like Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar was a guy that either entered first or he entered last. I think Roman Reigns is now in that position as well. We don't need a repeat, though, of what Brock Lesnar did. What is that, in 21, where he entered first and eliminated like 14, 15 guys? I don't need to see Roman Reigns do that. I don't need to see him enter first and start eliminating just one person after another. It's not going to do good for Roman Reigns. Also, there's a lot of guys in this Rumble that I think need to be around for a lot longer, that are going to be early on, that don't just need to get eliminated, because the guys that Brock was going against, a lot of them were either jobbers or just low-tier mid-card guys. Some of them were like kind of mid-tier mid-card guys, but for the most part, they were low-tier mid-card guys. So it made a lot more sense for him to eliminate all those guys. Roman does not need to do that at all. Have him be at number 30, and then, that's a lot better for him. Also, he's going to be going against some of the top guys as well. We're going to get that John Cena-Roman Reigns standoff, too. And even Roman Reigns and CM Punk, Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So many amazing standoffs that we could get. Now, with all the entrants done, let's go ahead and get on to who are going to be the final 4 participants. Very similar to the women's video, except this time around, I am not going to have a past, present, and 2 futures, because we don't need that, because 3 of the 4 remaining guys are going to be CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and my 4th is going to be Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is going to eliminate Roman Reigns, because I think they really are going to push Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I don't think we're getting Cody versus Roman this year. We might get Cody versus Roman next year or the year after. They definitely do want to do a part 3 to that, but not too soon by any means. I think Drew McIntyre, if he eliminates Roman Reigns, is going to be setting up that match at WrestleMania. Then I think CM Punk does end up eventually eliminating one Drew McIntyre to kind of, just really stick it to him more that, hey, I beat you. You're never going to be better than me. I'm always going to be better than you. And then the last 2 are going to be John Cena, CM Punk. And from here, I think CM Punk does win this does win the Rumble, because John Cena is advertised for Elimination Chamber, so I think he's going to win an Elimination Chamber to go on to face one of the top 2 belts, obviously it being Gunther, because CM Punk is going to go on to face Cody Rhodes. I think with that big old promo they did on this past Monday Night Raw, that was basically the nail in the coffin as to who is going to win this dang Rumble. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. If you're giving me CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And if we're going to start pushing Cody more as like Homelander Cody and less of a heel Cody, but also less of a face Cody, I think this is the best way to go about it, by beating the best in the world. So I do believe Cody should still, if he has the belt, which I do believe he's going to have the belt at WrestleMania, he should win that match. I don't think CM Punk needs to win the match. CM Punk says he wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, obviously he wants to win it as well, but his big thing is just being in the main event, because the past 2 times that he could have had a chance to be in the main event, it was stolen from him. So I think CM Punk does win the 2025 Royal Rumble. But y'all go ahead and let me know y'all predictions down below. Are you rocking with my 30 entrants? Who are y'all 30 entrants? Who do y'all think is going to be the final 4 in the Rumble? Who do y'all think is going to win the Rumble? And if you haven't already, make sure you do like and subscribe for more. Y'all have a great one, though, y'all. I'm out. Peace.